he said, ask anything from me. So when you go to someone who is expert in something and is offering you something, you expect something where he is good at. So an appropriate request or boon that Dhruva can expect from Kuvera is, give me some wealth. But you know what Dhruva said? Can you please give me unflinching remembrance of Krishna? And Kuvera said, Tathastu. If you just compare the spiritual strengths of these two personalities, Dhruva is a pure devotee. Dhruva was predicted to enter this spiritual world even when he was at the age of 5. So Dhruva Maharaj is an exalted devotee, and Kuvera is not that exalted compared to Dhruva. Kuvera, in terms of devotion to Krishna, Dhruva is several steps ahead of Kuvera. But Dhruva is begging Kuvera, please give me Krishna's Paranam, and Kuvera says, Tathastu, just take it. Your boon is granted, approved. What's the logic? Again, very important. When another Vaishnava is displeased with our activities, with our attitude or demeanor, that will act as an obstacle in our Krishna Smaranam. We won't be able to remember Krishna when another devotee is displeased with our demeanor, with our activities. Even if they happen to be younger than us, even if they happen to be quote unquote less spiritually advanced than us. Dhruva is more advanced spiritually and Kuvera is relatively little less. But still, even if they are younger devotees or junior devotees, even if you have given them Kanthimala, you have taught them how to chant Hare Krishna, you taught them how to wear dhoti, still, now that they are Vaishnavas, even if they are not Vaishnavas, if our inappropriate behavior causes some displeasure in another, in the heart of another individual, that will act as an obstacle in our Krishna Smarana. We cannot remember Krishna. So, if there is a genuine mistake they have done, and if you are authorized to correct them, then you correct them. They may feel little bad. That's fine. It's a part of your duty, right? But there is no mistake on their part. There is a mistake on your part. Just because you are senior or you got more darshan of the Lord, that does not mean you can just get away with it. The displeasure of another individual, especially the displeasure of another devotee, will definitely affect us, affect our Krishna Smarana. We can't remember Krishna. So therefore, when Dhruva said, please give me unflinching remembrance of Krishna, what he meant is, don't Hare Krishna. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, Dhruva Maharaj, when he requested Kuvera to give him unflinching remembrance of Krishna, what he meant is, please don't hold any bitter feelings or dissatisfaction because of my activities. Wholeheartedly, I am begging your grace. He humbled himself and begged for his forgiveness. Yes, there is a mistake on my part. I admit that mistake. By the mercy of Swayambhu Manu, I became enlightened about my own mistake. I realized my mistake. Please forgive me. An honest person doesn't justify one's mistake, rectifies one's mistake. Doesn't hide one's mistakes, but admits one's mistakes and apologizes. So one has to, an honest person realizes one's mistake, admits it, apologizes for it, tries to rectify if possible, and repent for it genuinely, and doesn't repeat it, and remembers it. 7 things. Anyways, Kuvera said, no grudge at all, no ill feelings at all. I have completely forgiven, forgive and forget. I am okay with it. No, don't worry about it. Then Dhruva went ahead. He continued his life. So why did I say this whole story? Now we'll revisit this story. Right from the death of Uttama till begging, till Dhruva begged forgiveness from Kuvera. Dhruva became very emotional. He went and fought with the Yakshas. Just compare Dhruva with a sadhaka, a devotee, who is trying to chant the holy names of Krishna. Right? With great determination, Dhruva was fighting with the Yakshas and trying to counteract their weapons. Similarly, a sadhaka also may try to fight back with the allurements and distractions presented by Maya, and when we are determined, we can overcome those struggles, overcome those obstacles presented by Maya. So we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, or we are doing any practical service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, then Maya will present so many obstacles, so many distractions, so many allurements, so many temptations. Temptations of name, fame, prestige, or whatever it may be. Temptations of sense gratification, sense enjoyment. So many allurements, so many obstacles are presented by Maya. But when we are determined, we'll be able to overcome all of them. Just the way Dhruva, he was so determined to fight with the Yakshas, although the Yakshas were showering 1,30,000 Yakshas were showering 7,80,000 arrows every few moments on Dhruva. Because Dhruva was determined, he could counteract all of them. Similarly, although Maya presents hundreds and thousands of distractions and allurements, when a sadhaka is determined to be on the path of bhakti, sadhaka can overcome all of them, all those problems. Prabhupada writes, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita purports, Prabhupada writes very beautifully. Kalakrishna Das, although he was personally in the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and started associating with that gypsies. Mahaprabhu had to personally go and then pull him by his shikha. Come back to me. He is supposed to serve Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is serving him. So, Prabhupada writes that unless one is determined in devotional service, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot save him. So we need to be determined. If we don't have determination for anything, we'll be distracted by everything. Whether it is japa or seva or deity worship or study of scriptures, whatever devotional element we may be doing, if we don't have determination for something, we'll be distracted by everything. So Dhruva was very determined. Prabhupada makes this statement in the context where Mahaprabhu is planning for his Vrindavan Yatra. Then the devotees came to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Sarva Damodar Goswami, all of them came to Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, please don't go alone to Vrindavan Yatra. Take somebody with you. Take an assistant with you. Then Mahaprabhu said, don't give me an assistant like Kalakrishna Das. Kalakrishna Das, although he was associating with me, he left me and then went to that Bhattataris. So I want someone who is very, very sober, determined, and self-controlled. I want such kind of assistants. I don't want a restless, distracted assistant who has no determination. In this context, Prabhupada writes. Even in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left. Kalakrishna Das left. It can happen to us also. Even while living in Vrindavan Dham, Even while standing in front of Giriraj Govardhan or Radha Shyam Sundar in Krishna Balaram temple, mind can go in 100 different directions. My God. With full experience I am saying this. Mind may not focus on the deity, mind may not focus on the holy mountain in front of us, or the devotees around us, or the mala in the hand, or the book in front of us, or the katha going on there. Mind can go to Mumbai, mind can go to America, mind can go to anywhere else. Mind can go to Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood also. Mind can go anywhere. So unless we are determined to bring the mind back on track, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot save us, Prabhupada says. He can save, definitely. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur makes a point. That which is offered or given by force and that which is acquired with enthusiasm and eagerness and longing are different. Right? The Lord can forcefully transform our minds. But we can eagerly beg for it, which is better. Transformation happens by both, but when we eagerly beg, the Lord is more happy. But if the Lord has to put so much of endeavor to, bring us back on track, so many times, although we are going out of track, it's a little austere for Him. He can do it effortlessly, but still, He'll be more happy if we voluntarily choose to be determined. Just like parents are very loving and caring, even when the child is naughty, mischievous, and not so disciplined. But parents will be happy if the child is voluntarily disciplined and gives up naughty and mischievous activities, right? The parents love naughty children also, disciplined kids also, parents like, but parents are more happy with a disciplined kid, right? Not a restless kid. Similarly, we can reduce Krishna's activity, Krishna's responsibility by voluntarily choosing to be more focused in bhakti. Easier said than done. I am speaking all these things not because I am on this level, but because I have learnt it from scriptures and from great souls. If you think that I am on this level, that's your problem, not my problem. Let me honestly admit I have a long way to go. Even I am also struggling to put all these wonderful principles in practice. But because we have to speak Harikatha here in the assembly of devotees, I am repeating what I have learned from the books of Srila Prabhupada and what I have learned from my spiritual master and many other great Vaishnavas and these wonderful personalities like Dhruva and other devotees. So, Dhruva was determined to fight back, and he emerged successful in his initial fight with the Yakshas. Similarly, sadhaka may become successful with the determination, sadhaka will become successful in one's initial fight with Maya. Then sadhaka is able to manage to control his mind, control his senses for some time. So Maya is trying to tempt the sadhaka 100 times when they're chanting. And this person managed to come back on the holy name. Yato nischalati manaschanchalam asthiram tatastato niyam yetat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Wherever the mind wanders, bring the mind back, Krishna says. Then Arjuna says, no, not possible. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramathi balavadradam. Then Krishna again says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena grihati. I understand it's not possible, but you should try. Practice karo. Just practice. And vairagya, develop some detachment towards the distraction. We need to be detached from distractions. We need to be detached from allurements and temptations presented by Maya. Maya's job is to present temptations and distractions. We should develop some detachment. What is this temptation coming? An Instagram notification or a WhatsApp notification comes. Let me be detached, at least for next 1.5 hours. Let me be detached. Cultivate detachment and do this practice. At the sadhaka level, you know what is attentiveness or absorption in chanting? At sadhaka level. We may not get tears. Nayanam galadhashrudharaya vadanam gadgadarudhaya gira. This shloka is not on the platform of sadhana bhakti. This is on the platform of bhava bhakti. In Sri Chaitanya Sikshashtakam, The first 5 shlokas are on the level of sadhana bhakti. Last 3 shlokas are on the level of bhava and prema. So, a sadhaka struggling with one's own senses and mind and anarthas cannot have genuine tears while chanting. Sahajiyas may show some tears, but a sincere sadhaka does not want to exhibit tears. As this morning Maharaj was saying, even if somebody has entered into that bhava stage, even if they have genuine tears, they feel like hiding them. They don't want to reveal in front of everybody. So they don't want to manifest their devotional ecstasies publicly. They restrain their feelings. And those who are artificially exhibiting those feelings of tears or sweda, ashru, palaka, kampa, all these special feelings, they may be wanting some cheap adoration. Once in a while some tears may come. We don't have to label a sadhaka as a sahaja just because they are crying. Some genuine tears may come once in a while, but to maintain that mood constantly is not possible for a sadhaka bhakta. Only someone transits into bhava stage, they can maintain that mood of tears or goosebumps or things constantly. Sadhaka means there's a distraction. One will just come back. There are few moments of absorption on a festival day, or when we hear some katha, or when we participate in some kirtan, when we take some darshan, when we read some purport of Prabhupada, when we read some shloka of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. For a moment we may get excited, we may get very devotional, we may get absorbed, but those few moments of absorption remain only for a few moments. If they become consistent, we are bhava bhaktas. If they are inconsistent, we are sadhakas. So we are doing sadhana. We are on the level of sadhana bhakti. So, 8 o'clock, my God. I'll take questions later. I need to complete this. Initially, for a sadhaka, attentiveness means an attempt to bring the mind back whenever it wanders. That's our absorption. At sadhaka level, our absorption or our attentiveness is our attempt to bring the mind back and focus on the holy name. When we are attempting to bring the mind back, at least trying to bring the mind back, then we are sincere sadhakas. When we are not even making an attempt to bring the mind back, we are not sincere. That's the whole thing. Mind will go away. Sadhaka, conditioned soul struggling to chant means mind will go here and there. But if you are sincere, we will try to bring the mind back as much as possible. You chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 2 mantras you chant. 3rd mantra, mind is somewhere else. Then you realize it in 10th mantra. Then, bring the mind back. Let me focus. Then 11th mantra you hear. 12th mantra you hear. 13th mantra you hear. 14th mantra, mind is somewhere else. 15th mantra, mind is somewhere else. Then you realize it in 20th mantra. Okay, let me come back. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Right? This is sadhaka's chanting. Right? Attempt to bring the mind back. That is attentiveness for us. But for someone who is more advanced in bhakti, they don't have to put an attempt to bring the mind back. They can effortlessly focus the mind. They can effortlessly focus the mind on the mantra that they are chanting, or the service they are doing, or the katha they are hearing. So it takes some time. Anyways, Dhruva Maharaj could easily counteract all the weapons of yakshas with his determination. Okay. And later Dhruva Maharaj could successfully defeat all these yakshas and they ran away. Similarly, a sadhaka also, with determination, chanting the holy names of the Lord, doing any devotional activity, and is able to safeguard oneself from the allurements of Maya, not getting tempted at all. 16 rounds, I'll complete only and get up. I'll not chant 4 rounds in the morning, 4 rounds in the afternoon, 8 rounds in the night, 10 o'clock while dozing off. So 16 rounds will spread throughout the day. So no, they have some determination to have some discipline to complete rounds in the morning as much as humanly possible. So all that they are doing, and over a period of time they attain some consistency in bhakti. They practice for 5 years or 10 years, something like that. At that time, we may become overconfident. The sadhaka may become overconfident. Yeah, no problem. I think I have conquered Maya. Maya will not touch me. My japa is consistent, my morning program is consistent, my shastric study is consistent, my seva, I am producing results. I think I am a good sadhaka now. That's a state when Yakshas ran away. And Dhruva wanted to explore. Let me see Alkapuri now. Let's have some fun. But whenever you feel that my sadhana, my seva, my sadhana is being consistent, my japa is being consistent, that's where we need to be extra alert. Maya can present more serious obstacles in our japa at that time, in our bhakti at that time. Just as the Yakshas came with greater force. After they paused for a while, all the Yakshas came back with greater force to attack. And Dhruva was completely bewildered. Although we have attained some level of consistency in our sadhana and japa, in our devotional life, if we are not careful, if we are not alert, if we are not cautious, if we are not attentive, we may even forget that we have to chant the holy names when Maya comes and attacks us. Dhruva is like that. Dhruva was aware of Narayanastra, definitely. When the Yakshas came with greater force, with so many magical illusions and black arts, Dhruva was aware of Narayanastra, but he forgot it. Similarly, when Maya attacks us so much, like it could be a temptation for money, name, fame, prestige, attraction to opposite gender, or it could be anything. Maya can come with greater force and present greater obstacles in the life of a sadhaka. At that time, the sadhaka becomes so bewildered that the sadhaka may not even remember that the simple thing that I need to do, the simple solution that I can apply now is take shelter of the holy names of Krishna. We may forget that also. Although it is very obvious, although we could do that earlier, we may forget that also. Don't underestimate Maya. Maya is so powerful. Krishna said, Daivi hiyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. We have to underline that statement. In one sense, it's an understatement. Unsurpassable. Very, very difficult to surpass. Or difficult for a struggling sadhaka conditioned soul to surpass. Mamevaye prapadyante, take Saranagati, take shelter of Krishna, that's the only way. So we may even forget that we have to take shelter of Krishna, although we are aware. We have seen it in the lives of Saubhari Muni, life of Yamunacharya, life of so many people who are distracted. Maya can thoroughly bewilder. Pururava, my God, how much he was bewildered. The personality whom he was attached to, this Apsara, Urvasi, she gave a counseling session to to Pururava. Why are you so obsessed with me? Why are you so infatuated? Relax, behave yourself. You are an emperor, you are a ruler, you are supposed to set a good example for all your people to follow. And if you are running behind me, what will people think about you? Out. But he says, no, I want you. For that, he is doing tapasya, he is doing some austerity, with great determination, he is doing austerity. She is insulting him. She is calling all kinds of unmentionable, evil, humiliating words. When a Kshatriya hears such humiliating words from somebody, he would just pick up a sword and kill. But he is begging her, please. Whatever gali you want to give, you give. You chastise me, you insult me, humiliate me, but please, aslishya vapadartam pinashtumam. Right? He is saying that you trample me or you embrace me, you are my prananatha. That's what he is saying. This shloka he is singing in front of Urvasi. Right? Maya can thoroughly bewilder a person to this degree. Then finally he sang Aila Gita and he came back on track. Right? So Maya can thoroughly bewilder a person. Dhruva Maharaj, was he not aware of Narayanastra? He was aware of Narayanastra. Why did he not release it? Why the sages have to come and remind him? That shows, it's very symbolic. It is giving us a grave message. When we are so bewildered by Maya, then we will forget to apply even the basic fundamental principles of devotional service to protect ourselves from that allurement. Only Vaishnava Sangha can save us. Only devotees can protect us. Only devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna have the capability to protect us from the allurement of Maya by reminding us that we have to chant the holy names of Krishna. Take shelter of Lord Narayana's name. Release a Narayanastra to dispel these demoniac illusions created by Yakshas. Similarly, devotees will come and tell us, take shelter of the holy name of Krishna. Whenever we are getting distracted in japa, Maharaj was saying, keep trying, keep trying. Hear the holy name, listen to the holy name. Keep your body straight, focus your mind, focus your heart, 3 levels of heart. So, devotees, Vaishnavas will remind us that we have to take shelter of the holy name of the Lord. We'll forget. Don't we know? When we're chanting, don't we know that we have to focus on the holy name? We have been hearing it. We'll give holy name seminars also. Right? We'll hear it, we'll speak it. So many things will happen, but unless we get reminders from exalted devotees, we may forget that I have to hear. We know this shloka. Yeto yeto nischaliti manascinchalam astiram. But throughout 16 rounds, we may forget this shloka. Yeto yeto nischaliti. We'll forget to bring the mind back. 16 rounds are over. Back to normal activities. And next day we'll see the mala. It happens with me often. So, Maya, these yakshas, what all they presented? These waves, ocean, the waves, all the anarthas within our hearts, like lust, envy, pride, greed, illusion, they are like these fierce waves of this ocean. And this mystic mountain is showering blood, urine, pus, all kinds of stool, also all kinds of abominable substances, right? Sometimes the material desires we have in our hearts can be more abominable than that stool and urine and pus. The material desires we have, unmentionable material desires in the heart of a conditioned soul, sense gratificatory desires or whatever, they are more abominable than stool and pus. If you touch stool, you wash your hand becomes pure normally. You put sanitizer or soap or take a bath, done, 5 minutes you are clean. But sometimes the material desire in the heart is so unclean, so impure, so abominable that, my God, it's worse than stool, worse than pus, worse than blood, worse than urine, worse than any kind of abominable substance that may be falling from the sky. So many temptations, so many allurements, so many material desires, so many anarthas. We are so overwhelmed. So when we are amidst all these anarthas and this mystic ambience, terrible ambience created by Maya around us, only holy name can protect us. And who will remind us, who will instruct us, who will inspire us, who will encourage us, who will support us to take shelter of the holy names of the Lord? The devotees of the Lord. Just like all the sages came to rescue Dhruva Maharaj. The story doesn't end there. Dhruva Maharaj, by taking shelter of holy name Narayanastra, he dispelled all these delusions and he's back on track and he's fighting with Maya again, fighting with Yakshas again. Similarly, we take shelter of devotees. They remind us to take shelter of holy names and we nicely come back on track and practice bhakti. And Dhruva Maharaj became a victim of his own anger. He became very ambitious. He became victim of his own anger and he was trying to kill Yakshas left, right, center, to the point of annihilating the entire race of Yakshas. Similarly, we may get distracted from devotional service and because of devotees' grace, we'll come back on track, we'll again come back on the path of devotional service and we may do devotional service very passionately sometimes, very ambitiously sometimes. We want to conquer the whole world. We run behind name, fame, prestige, influence. I want more, I want more. This much service is not sufficient. I would do more service. Good to do service, but do it in a devotional mode, not in a passionate mode. Am I ambitious and excited to serve Krishna or become famous? Am I here to attract followers for Krishna or followers for myself? Am I here to expand Krishna consciousness or I consciousness? I will spread Krishna consciousness. Let me participate by Acharya's grace, by the causeless mercy of Acharyas, let me participate in this mission of spreading Krishna consciousness, or let me spread Krishna consciousness. Let me make people Krishna conscious. Who are we to make Krishna conscious? First we become Krishna conscious. That's the first. Let us become Krishna conscious. Sometimes Maya can tempt us, even while doing a devotional activity. Just like simple. Let me give a simple example. We should not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna, isn't it? We should eat only Krishna prasadam. Agreed? Now Krishna prasadam comes in front of you. How much should we eat? As much as we can eat, as much as we can digest, as much as it is required for the body. When we overeat Krishna prasadam also, we are following the principle of eating only Krishna prasadam, not any food which is not offered. Pure vegetarian food offered to Krishna, we are eating that only. That also, if we cross limits in eating, that may agitate the senses, that may affect the body, that may create unnecessary things in the mind. Similarly, while doing devotional service also, with so much of passion, one may enter into the zone of being too ambitious. One may get too overwhelmed or overpowered with the desire to be very, very passionate in one's service, and then one may forget one's own connection with Krishna. One may forget that I need to take shelter of Krishna. One may forget this fact that everything is happening because of Krishna's grace. One may be overwhelmed with a mentality that I am the doer, I am the performer. Things are happening because of me. I am producing results. Yes, we have to, but not in a mode of doership. That's what I was sharing yesterday also. One of the prominent thoughts that might appear in our minds when we are chanting is thoughts of service. Yes, definitely sense gratificatory thoughts are definitely wrong. We have to reject, we understand it. But sometimes even thoughts of service also could be a distraction in japa. Because when I'm thinking about the service that I need to do while chanting, I may consciously or unconsciously be thinking that I am the doer. No, you are not the doer. Krishna is making you do. Krishna is making you dance. As Prabhupada is praying there, make me dance, make me dance. Right? He is making us do. We are mere instruments. So, chanting is the time where we are supposed to be in instrument consciousness, not accomplishment consciousness, not achievement consciousness. So this is the time where we need to remember that we are instruments, we are humble instruments, and whatever Krishna desires, that will happen. If he wants it to happen through me, let it happen through me. And I am fortunate to get that opportunity. But I should not be thinking that I am the doer. So Dhruva Maharaj is he's killing all the yakshas, left, right, center. Swami Maharaj came and said, why are you killing so many people? Is it required? Sometimes, while fighting with Maya and Maya's representatives, those who are spreading atheistic philosophy or some other non-devotional doctrines, or even those people who may not be following devotional line like you, sometimes an average sadhaka may blaspheme them, may hate them, may criticize them. What is the requirement to criticize? Another bona fide sampradaya. Only to establish your superiority. My sampradaya is best. Why? Because I am practicing. It may be best and you can have high regard for it. That does not mean you demean another bona fide sampradaya. Even non-bona fide paths also, we may speak something against them because they're misdirecting people. But that has to be spoken out of compassion, not out of passion. So if we disapprove the wrong mentalities of people out of compassion, out of a concern, then that disapproval is valid and bona fide and it makes sense. But if the disapproval is done out of a sense of superiority complex and pride, that will also affect, that's a distraction in bhakti. So when Prabhupada chastises scientists or whoever, there is a compassionate spirit. He wants them to be Krishna conscious. But if someone artificially imitates Prabhupada, then they also chastise without that realization, without that level of compassion, one may end up offending them or hurting people. Right? As we discussed yesterday, let's not have any trace of ill feelings towards anybody, even if they are not devotees yet. Just like Suruchi offended Dhruva, who was not a devotee at that time. But she got reaction, right? That's what Lord is trying to teach through Suruchi's death or Uttama's death. Sometimes we may get carried away. Even while practicing devotional service, even while serving Krishna and trying to do lot of service to Krishna, one may sometimes cross limits. So that's what happened in Dhruva's case. Then again Vaishnavas only will come to our rescue. Again Swayambhumanu came and told Dhruva, it's not appropriate for you to kill so many yakshas or one yaksha's mistake. Go and say sorry. We need to humble in front of Vaishnavas. Although Dhruva went overboard twice, Dhruva faced obstacles of Maya twice. Both times devotees came and protected him. First time, the sages came and told him, chant Narayana mantra. Second time, Swayambhumanu came and told him. So devotees are the only hope to streamline our chanting, to streamline our spiritual life. And holy name is the only shelter. And we have, what's the time now? 8:20. In 2 minutes, I'll discuss how holy name played a role in Dhruva's life at the end of his life. In the beginning, holy name played a role in the form of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the middle, holy name played a role as Narayana. Right? At the end, when he was about to go to the spiritual world on the Vaikuntha airplane, he offered obeisances. He did not know what to do. When suddenly Vaikuntha airplane came. Come, let's go to Vaikuntha. It's not that come, let's go to Mumbai. He said, come, let's go to Vaikuntha. Nanda and Sananda came. He just did not know what to do at that moment. He just chanted the holy names of the Lord. When you don't know what to do, you should know what to do. What is that? Chant the holy names of the Lord. Right? So Dhruva did. We can elaborate it later. But I think at least last 10 minutes I must hear. We can take questions, but even before that we need to hear from His Holiness Sacinandana Swami Maharaj. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj, I'd like to hear from you. Does it work?
Just very briefly, it was very, very fascinating how you related the journey, we can say, of Dhruva Maharaj to the life journey of a sadhaka. That was very, yes, we could see really the parallel lines going on. Yes. I'm just so overwhelmed taking notes that at the moment my presentator mind doesn't work at this moment. I went so fast, I had to be really like an airplane, a jet to take notes and catch everything. So please excuse me, I don't want to say something now, just anything. I'm in the note taker, the receiver mode, not the presenter mode.
So develop the receiver mode, not the presenter mode. Any questions or comments? Hopefully, even you won't have your questions. Yes, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, and Darshan Prabhu for extending yourself so compassionately to all of us and giving so much of your energy. It's an unfortunate observation that I've made in my own consciousness, and in ISKCON centers is a little different approach to service, which is very productivity oriented, in the sense that achievements are equated to person's advancement, and given a passionate person who sort of wants to be, if not public recognition, but a sense of self-worth, of making some contribution. A lot of doership is very obvious from what classes you and Maharaj have been presenting. In previous seminars by Maharaj, he would emphasize on the 10th offense as maintaining this I and mine consciousness during japa. So, at least internally, how do you adjust to still trying your best and, not being an evolved person retorting to lethargy in practical affairs with the mood of dependence that you both are kindly teaching?
It's a very relevant and eloquent question.
Thoughtfully asked. All I can say is we are no one to judge anyone's intentions, even though apparently they may look like achievers or doers, or we may perceive that they have doership mentality. They may be doing something with pure intention to serve Krishna, to expand Prabhupada's movement. If you have the bandwidth to cooperate, to participate, without compromising on your personal absorption in the core sadhana elements like Sravanam Kirtanam, you can definitely assist. If there is some difficulty, you can express that, because of these reasons I may not be able to act in this way at this age. You may express that. But different devotees approach bhakti and serve Krishna in different ways. We need to respect that. A part of our sadhana is also to respect the way some devotees want to serve Krishna with all good intentions. Even in our regular dealings, keep bhakti aside, but even basic human swabhava is some people speak very fast. Some people are very slow. Some people are very calm and composed. Some are hyper, excited. Some are vata prakriti. Some are kapha prakriti, Vata prakriti means they are like all over the place. They are like they seem restless. They are very active, super active. Kapha prakriti, they are like this. Okay. Karenge, aaram se. Let's go slow. What a big deal. Let's move slowly. Both may be nice people. The fact that somebody or somebody's nature or working style is incompatible with our expectations or incompatible with our mood, we may not label them as, they have doership mentality, they are accomplishers, etc., etc. Yes, these thoughts may come. They may come in any sadhaka's mind. But we need to have some devotees who can gently, diligently, intelligently bring us back on track. Because apart from all the other allurements of Maya that we discussed in the class, another allurement or another distraction or another temptation that Maya can present is to judge another devotee's way of serving Krishna. Right. It happens. Even it happens with me also. Even I keep sometimes perceiving something. Oh, I think this need not be done. This should not be done. How can they do like this? It happens with me also, but somehow we need to pull our mind back and focus on the specific service that we are supposed to do. If they are bothering you in your service, that's a different thing. You have to do the needful, but they are doing something, and we have no authority, we have no right to check it or correct it or rectify it, or it may not be necessary, not only for us, it doesn't need a correction also. Who knows? If I am not the right person, let me just focus on the specific service that I am given by devotees, Guru. That's all I can say. I think I didn't answer the question, but that's all I can say. We need to be safe, because you spoke about 10th offense. First offense is more grave, right? So, being concerned that others are doing 10th offense, we may do the first offense. It may happen, but this is my limited knowledge, but I request His Holiness Sacinandana Maharaj to answer the question more appropriately with better insights, Maharaj.
I will only talk from life's experience. I think you can know that when someone is practicing for a long time Krishna consciousness, he has seen many things in the society of Krishna consciousness. He had, it's no secret that in ISKCON there are success stories, but there are also stories of failure. That is no secret. But really what life has told me, that it is best to concentrate on wiping your own floor, so to say, on taking care of your own life, doing improvements there as much as you are able. And when it comes to the faults of others, I have really seen it's not good to dwell on them. In the Mahabharata it is said that if there is a fault finder who finds faults in me, he's my greatest friend. Why? Because the fault which I may have, when the other person dwells on them, this fault comes to them. I don't know if you know, I don't even know have the right. You know, there is an ink block, but you write with ink, there's sometimes an ink block, and then there is paper. This was in the old times. When it comes in contact with this block, it absorbs the ink. What is the English word of this paper? Blotting paper. Yeah, blotting paper. So if you dwell on someone's mistake, you actually become the blotting paper, and the mistake comes to you. There are multiple verses in the Mahabharata about this. I once noted them down. There is even a song which says, and this explains to you why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur cried when this man died, who would come to every lecture he gave, and then afterwards criticizing him in public. Oh, you said wrong. When he died a natural death. Not my followers who were fanatic also. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, now my friend has died. Because, life has taught me this. No, please know, I have a German mind. We can see mistakes like anything if we want. We Germans, But I I have seen it, it just becomes my burden to see mistakes. This life has taught me, and Shastra has taught me. So, if it is your duty to correct it, then you have to do the work. Okay. So, this is what is said. Now I have to see, is it really like this? Is it an overstatement? It's heavy work to correct someone because you need to see different perspectives and so on. And if you don't need to do this, don't do it. You know, I'm speaking as someone who does this guru seva also. Sometimes I have to, and I really, this is the hardest service for me, to go into someone's life and see, okay, where are the mistakes and what is a real mistake and how can I pass by the false ego now and tell him in such a way that he does not protest. It's very undesirable to do this. So this is my answer to this.
Thank you. So we conclude here. So you continue. You are 34. 34. No problem.